Hello and welcome to the official Destructoid review of Resistance Retribution. Why yes, the review is quite late, and no, we don't really care.
Bloody hell!
Retribution is a PSP exclusive sequel to the popular PS3 shooter series, which sees an invasion of the alien-esque Chimera taking over 50s Europe. Unlike its bigger brothers, Retribution is a third-person shooter, which expertly uses the face buttons and analog nub to provide as close to a home console experience as you're going to get. With a helpful auto-aim and a decently implemented cover mechanic, Resistance Retribution certainly has all the tools to be a great PSP game. However, it's marred by a number of glaring faults that stop the game from being much more than consistently aggravating. You take on the role of James Grayson, a xenophobic misogynist with an English accent that you can take about as seriously as the Cockney voice in Saints Row 2.
Bloody frog!
Grayson's brother had been infected by the Chimera, and it was Grayson who had to put the bullet in his head, something which led Grayson on a downward spiral. Disobeying orders, our hero has been bombing Chimeran conversion centres and was finally imprisoned by his own people, who are going to execute him for dereliction of duty. Enter the Marquis, a European resistance force who saves Grayson from the firing squad and sends him on a mission to discover why the Chimera are now abandoning their former conversion centres. The story is rather forgettable, and it's not helped along by the awful dialogue and the aforementioned Grayson, whose attempts to sound like a grizzled, war-weary cynic come off as laughable.
You can't reach the opening. How tall are you?
The game constantly breaks its own rules, implementing a cover-heavy system and then frequently having enemies leave cover, run over to your position and then hammer you in the face. I guess the developers were labouring under the impression that the auto-aim and cover made the game too easy. Most of the enemies intended to be scary are also simply annoying. Boilers require you to go into manual aim and shoot their heads before they explode, which is just an inconvenience, especially as you have to press up on the D-pad to do it, and by the time you're done fiddling around, the boilers are on your position. Resistance has online multiplayer, which people are shockingly still playing. It's decent, but don't expect to be addicted to its simplistic run and gun and hope for the best ways. Graphically, Resistance is definitely a good-looking title, and the sound is impeccable, with some great music and eerie sound effects. The game is something you should try out if you own a PSP, since its production values and the way it makes use of everything the system offers makes it worth checking out. However, it's a frequently irritating game that I find myself struggling to go back to. I can't help thinking it's getting so much praise simply because it's on the PSP, and good games are hard to find.
Bloody hell!